Want to know 10 ways how not to buy your home in 2022?
Stay tuned to find out. Hey, and welcome everybody. It's Hal Cohn.
And Chris Cohn with Cohn Realty Group.
If this is your first time to our channel, 10th time, 100th time, 1000th time to our channel, and you by chance have not clicked that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified each and every time we release a new video about living, working, and playing in the amazing Roanoke Valley, please do yourself a favor and do that right this second.
Yes, right now. We have folks constantly contacting us saying they want to move to or within Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, and the surrounding areas. So if that's you, your friends, or your family, please give us a call. We would love to have that conversation with you and answer any questions you may have. You can call us, text us, or email us.
The sixth common mistake buyers make is expecting a perfect house.
Yes, and
Yes and
trust
yes.
me, our goal is to make sure we check off as many of those boxes on your wish list as possible, and we get really close a lot of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
because it is a ever-changing
Target.
There we go.
Target.
It's an ever-changing target throughout the process of you finding that home that you love and you want to actually put an offer on and call home sweet home in the end.
Yes, exactly. But so what's most important here is really narrow down your priorities. Make sure you are clear on what you will not compromise about, and then the rest, we'll see if we can find it, and we'll do our very best. But the more flexible you are in this market especially,
Yes.
the
Good
better
reminder.
chances that you have to find a home that will suit your needs and you'll be really happy with. We don't want you to settle. We want you to be in a home that you love, but it is important to be flexible in some areas.
It is, especially like myself. You know, when we looked at houses a few years ago, which is a different market. However, my lovely wife here and business partner was adamant about finding a contemporary home here in the Roanoke Valley.
Yes.
There are some here, depending upon your price point. They don't always come available because lots of people are looking for those.
Yes, they're beautiful.
And then, did we end up in a contemporary? No. Why don't you tell them where we ended up?
We ended up in a 1905 Victorian home,
Yes.
which was not on either of our radars. We hadn't even entertained the idea. It was kind of a last-ditch effort to find a home. And you know what? It checked off almost all of our boxes.
Well, the whole point of contemporary for her was to have something unique and that was not cookie cutter inside of a subdivision, right?
And an open floor plan.
Yeah, which we created in a Victorian.
By blowing out some walls and...
Like
yes.
we always tell our clients, anything is possible as long as you want to pay for it.
Right.
Make anything
But it was
happen.
fun because we were shocked ourselves too. And this
Yeah.
happens quite often with our clients.
Right.
They're searching for one perfect home that they have in their head, and then they stumble upon something on the way and they're like, oh, this might be it. This is it. It has our priorities. So that's what we want to make sure that you do. So to successfully buy a home in 2022, make sure you have that wish list, but you've identified those priorities that you will not compromise on.
Okay, the seventh common mistake buyers make is having unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, this is a good one. And you know, I have pretty high expectations, but sometimes clients will come to us and they aren't familiar with the market and areas yet, and that's fine. That's understandable. We're the experts of the area and we want to help navigate you that way. But it does help to do your research, understand a little bit about the market so that you don't have these high expectations. And what I mean by that are things like timeline, how quickly you can move into a house, how quickly you can even have maybe that housing type come available. Like you were mentioning with the contemporaries. We do have some, they're beautiful. They don't come available very often, so you may have to wait a little bit longer than you anticipated.
Yes, because that's not like our traditional subdivisions from some of the newer homes, some of the older neighborhoods, that type of thing. So with that, just patience is of importance on that front.
Yeah, and then your parameters too are super important. You need to have pretty realistic parameters. We have really talked up the area about what you can do and the fun you can have and the cost of living, which is great. But we are seeing more and more clients coming to us wanting this beautiful, idyllic property perhaps, and it's just really hard to come by at certain times if you lump it all together. As an example, you want to give the example?
You can.
Okay, great. I'll go on. A lot of people want space and freedom and privacy, and I love that. But when you're looking for something like 25 acres that are pristine, forested, combination of meadow, and you want to be able to have animals on the property, and you have to have a beautiful stream, and let's see what else. You want all of that under 200,000? Well, it might be a little hard to find.
We will help you look by
That's
all
right,
means.
of course.
However, that might not be the most realistic expectation unless you want to be like an hour outside of Roanoke, which some people are that way. And if that's the case, we can help you find a realtor that can help you an hour outside of Roanoke if need be.
Yeah, and we can, and each one of those parameters is fine on their own. Property under 200,000, property with 25 acres, property that's a mix of rolling hills and forested area. All of that is available. It just may not all be available together at once. So that's just one example, but just make sure your expectations aren't too high so you aren't disappointed. And a lot of our clients, what they'll do is come in and do kind of what we call weekend warrior or a blitz and check out numerous homes that they love in hopes of finding one that they do.
Yep, and so and with that, we are able to help them. We'll go see 5-10 houses if they're available in the current market, and they may be able to successfully be confident in the fact that I love the home, I love the layout, I love this, put an offer in, get them under contract, no problem. But a lot of times that initial weekend warrior phase will be a lot of data collecting, intel for you to be able to understand exactly what you can get in person in the market here in the Roanoke Valley.
Yes. So to successfully buy a home in 2022, make sure you have realistic expectations.
The 8th common mistake buyers make is letting their emotions take charge.
Yes, we've seen this quite a lot, and it's common and it's normal. You know what? This is a fun process. This is an exciting time. And some people may not be moving here with a lot of excitement, but they certainly have some emotions. So if you can just try to put some of those aside and stay very factual, that will help you a lot on your house hunt. And that's our job too, is to let's keep things on the rails and you focus on your target and your goals that you had told us about to make sure that it's just very factual and some of those emotions have died down.
Yeah, and it can be stressful. I mean, this is one of the biggest financial decisions you're going to make when you're buying and selling a home, no matter where you're located. So with that, you know, if you've got a trusted realtor, you've got a trusted advisor, they're going to be able to help you navigate that. So the more confidence you have in the process, the more confidence you have in what you're looking at, what you're buying, and the person that's helping you or the people that are helping you, then you're going to be less emotional about it, and it's going to be a more fun. It's going to be
a funner.
That's right. It's going to be the process is going to be a lot more fun for you.
Definitely. And you know what? Again, I can't emphasize enough. This is common. I mean, it is easy to get your emotions and let them take charge, but you really just want to rein those in a little bit too. And that will help you with what we call buyer's remorse. You may have heard of this. I have it sometimes when I'm shopping because I don't shop very often. And as soon as I buy something, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have bought that. But the more confident you are in the process and your agent that they're guiding you in the right direction and doing all those other things that we talked about, like your research, you're financially prepared, all these things add up to you making a confident decision, and you're less likely to have some buyer's remorse.
Yeah, and I've got a specific story about that too, because we had some clients, because part of our initial consult with people is, you know, really getting that wish list, you know, dialing that in, that type of thing. And so when you get to that point where you're ready to make an offer, we're going to ask you some of those hard questions. Like, you told us A, B, C, D were like super duper highly important to you. And then guess what? You may say, it's really not. I thought it was, because we've had clients that walk into a house. I said, ABC are not being met here. Are you okay with that? Yeah, I love this house. It reminds me of my grandmother's house, right? And it's like, it's an emotional tie to it. And they actually, no buyer's remorse. They love the house.
Right.
However, it did not align with the original conversation we had. So we're going to have tough conversations with you to help make sure that you are dialed into something that you're really going to love in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So to successfully buy a home in 2022, do not let your emotions be in charge. The 9th common mistake buyers make is wanting to see a house immediately today because they just love it and adore it oh so very much.
Yes. We get calls frequently from people that maybe have been watching our YouTube channel or they've heard about us from a friend, and then they say, you know what, we found the perfect home. Can we go see it today? And we're like, sure, but we don't even know your last name. So how are we supposed to best guide you if we don't have that relationship?
Mm-hmm.
So an initial consultation with a trusted advisor, realtor, your professional realtor is so important, because we love to invest time in our clients. Make sure, again, this ties back to a lot of what we've talked about already. Make sure we know your goals, your timeline, what's most important to you, what you're flexible on, what you're really looking for in your lifestyle. And it's hard to build that rapport when we're just meeting you at the first house that you absolutely love. For the first time. Yeah, that's tough.
And sometimes that is the stepping stone for building that relationship. So,
mm-hmm. Often it is.
I mean, it happens. I mean, and because a lot of times when you call, what we talked about previously, you may not be pre-approved. You may not be able to do this or that. And it's like, you just got a wave of emotions and stress coming at you, and it's hard to be successful in that specific instance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a good point. Usually when we show these people these houses, they are super excited about it. They love it. And some of the appeal wears off a little bit once they kind of come to their senses and they're actually in the house. And it's like, oh, wait, this is a big step. Hold on, I'm not so sure. So that's a good. It's really nice that we, like you said, we kind of start that relationship there. Make sure that you're prepared. Start early, have conversations early, start fact finding. And again, we can't emphasize enough, contact a realtor, a professional realtor, to make sure that you have a relationship built with them.
So to successfully buy a home in 2022, make sure you start building that relationship with your realtor early on in the process. The 10th common mistake buyers are making leading into 2022 is foregoing a home inspection, and we do not recommend that you do that.
Yikes, yes. No, we don't recommend that, and we actually highly advise all of our clients to make sure they get a home inspection. A home inspection is the best way for you to get to know your house, and if you can attend that home inspection, it's even better, because you will learn firsthand all about your home, because they spend a few hours going from the very top to the very bottom of your home, looking at all the systems, everything, making sure it's all in working order. And then what comes out of that is a really nice, lengthy, sometimes scary report, a home inspection report. And it has items that are suggested that you definitely fix, whether it's safety or defects of the home. And then they have some things that should be replaced or repaired. And then they have some things that are just maintenance tips and things that you should know.
Like cleaning out gutters.
Right.
I mean, simple things like that.
Or where the water shutoff valve is.
Yeah.
So these things are things you need to know about the house. I love getting a home inspection report too, because it gives you confidence and comfort in the home, because you just can't see a lot of these items as you're doing a quick tour in 20 minutes.
So as Chris said, a home inspection is definitely worth your time. It's worth your money, even if it's for informational purposes only. And that way you'll be successful in 2022 when you buy your home and do your home inspection. So to successfully buy a home in 2022, make sure you still do that home inspection, even if it's for informational purposes only.
Well, honey, I am really in the mood to watch this movie. It's just been sitting on my lap here, and I love nothing more than a good movie night and some popcorn.
But it's not all fun and games over here. We got to make sure we actually meet with that initial consult for those buyers who are looking to move to the area here real soon.
Yeah, well, why don't we do that, and then we'll watch the movie.
Sounds like a plan.